What would you do if a man who once risked his life for his country was told to stand up in court, even though he couldn't? This shocking moment left everyone speechless. But what the judge did next, nobody saw coming. In a quiet courtroom filled with whispers and tension, a 58-year-old black veteran named James Carter rolled in on his wheelchair. James had served in the military decades ago, defending his nation with pride, but years later, an injury from combat left him permanently disabled. Despite his sacrifice, life hadn't been kind to him. He struggled to find steady work, battled PTSD, and now he was standing before a judge for a minor case that could decide his future. As the judge entered, the courtroom rose to its feet out of respect. Everyone except James. He remained in his wheelchair, his eyes fixed on the ground, hands trembling. Suddenly, the bailiff barked at him, "Stand up when the judge enters!" The room went silent. People turned their heads, watching. James, embarrassed, whispered, "Sir, I can't stand." But the bailiff repeated louder, "I said stand!" The tension was unbearable. James's face turned red with shame, his body frozen. For a man who had once stood tall in uniform, this moment felt like his deepest humiliation. And then, before anyone could say another word, the judge himself spoke. "Enough," he said firmly. "Do not raise your voice at him." The judge slowly stood up from his chair. With quiet steps, he walked down from the bench and stood right beside James's wheelchair. Looking at the entire courtroom, the judge declared, "This man has already stood for our country in ways many of us never will. He owes us no standing ovation. Instead, we owe him respect." Gasps filled the room. Some people had tears in their eyes. The bailiff lowered his head in shame. And James? His eyes welled up, his lips trembling. But for the first time in years, he felt seen, valued, and honored. Just as the case seemed over, the judge leaned closer to James and revealed something no one expected. He too had once served. And James's unit had saved his brother's life many years ago. The entire courtroom was stunned into silence, realizing this meeting was not chance but fate. The judge dismissed the case, but his words echoed, louder than any verdict. Respect is not about physical posture. It is about recognizing sacrifice, dignity, and humanity. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can become the biggest lesson of justice. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like the video, share it with others, and subscribe for more stories that will touch your heart and keep you thinking long after they end.